Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So students, in the previous class we were talking about that of Ohm's law, and we have seen that what is resistance and where the resistance depend, as well as the resistivity also. So we have seen that R is what is equal to rho L by A, where rho is what, that is the resistivity. Now today we will going to understand the resistance of a system of a resistor. Of resistor. See, we have understood here that is an electric circuit or a current moving through a conductor. It depends upon the voltage, as well as it depends upon the potential difference. The potential difference across is in that we call as the voltage, as well as the resistance. So current, because we know that V is equals to what, that is equals to IR. So simply if we talk about I is equals to V upon R. So here the current, it depends on both, that is on the voltage as well as the resistance. Now this resistance, we can arrange it in an electric circuit. We can add more number of a resistor to it, and there are different ways by which we can make the resistor. We can combine the resistor along with that of the electric circuit. So as you can see here that I is what, it depends on both, that is on the voltage as well as on the resistance. Okay, so we can say that we can arrange, it means it depends on both of them. So the resistor in an electric circuit we can arrange in a different manner, and let us see that what are the different ways by which we can attach that of the resistor. The first one is that it can be in the electric circuit, it can be in series. So resistor in series. Resistor in series. So basically what happened here, let me draw the electric circuit of this. So here a battery is there. A battery is there, and a battery is there, and this is first star, then second, and then third. Here an ammeter is there, and a main resistor, which a key is also there along with it, and this whole will be connected to V. This is R1, this is R2, and this is R3. Okay, then voltage is there. This is the positive and negative, and here it is also positive and negative. Current is flowing through this one, and finally it has come from this side. So you can see here that resistor in series. So in an electric circuit, if we will take three resistors and we will join them together, that is what they are in the series. So let us see what happened when the resistor is in the series. So when the resistor is in series, what happened? Suppose this is that of the resistor. Now we have taken a voltmeter as well as we have taken an ammeter. So first of all, instead of this whole volt, this is a whole volt which is in which the electric current is moving. So suppose that at first we will going to use that of the ammeter, and we will try to find that what amount of a current flows through R1, R2 and R3. So there will be no change in the current. Current remains the same. The value which came in the ammeter will remains the same when the resistors are kept in, or it is arranged in series. But what happened when what about the voltage? So now we will going to use the voltage at a different resistor. So this is the first voltage V1, and here also we will take V2, and then we will take V3, and then we will try to find out the voltmeter, the potential difference between each of the resistor. Then we will find out that every time the potential difference, it comes out to be different. So by this we came to conclusion that that is, if suppose this is A and B, this is C and D, and this is E and F. Okay, so the total voltage, it means total voltage that we had found in the first one. Suppose this is a kind of a voltage that we have taken. So this voltage, it will be equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. It means here the value of the volts, they get differ. So when the resistor is kept in a series, it is arranged in a series, at that time the voltage, the potential difference as each of the resistor will came out as different one. Okay, now if we talk about this one, V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So we knew that potential difference, it depends upon the current, it depends upon the resistance. Okay, so V will be equals to I upon R. Okay, according to the Ohm's law. Applying the same law to each of the voltage, it will be V1 is equals to I1 upon R1. Why is it so? Because I remains the same. You know that the same amount of current field flows through it when it is arranged in series. Then V2 is equals to I upon R2, and V3 is equals to I upon R3. Using the same formula, we can write it here. That is, we can now say that V is equals to what? That is V is equals to, actually V is equals to IR. V is equals to IR. V1 is equals to IR1, V2 is equals to IR2, and V3 is equals to IR3. So now it will become as a IR is equals to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3. Or if we take it here as a common, so it will become as IR is equals to IR1 plus R2 plus R3. This I will get cancelled, and it will become R is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay, so to get if you have arranged a several resistor in an electric circuit in series and you want to calculate the total resistance, so we can calculate it by simply adding all the values of the resistor, by which we will get the value of the total resistance of the given circuit. Okay. The second type of method by which we can arrange the resistor in an electric circuit, that is in parallel. We can arrange it in a parallel way. So let us see what kind of electric circuit it will be. So here, so a current is flowing through it. Now the current get divided into 3. Okay, this is what, student? This is R1, this is R2, and this is R3. Now you can see here the current get divided into all the 3. Okay, now here we will ammeter. Okay, now see you. If we put a potential between these two, now what happened? The current will start flowing through it. So this is also a what, student? Now this will be an electric circuit. You can simply attach it with an battery and a key. So what happened? The current start flowing through it, and then this current will enter into this circuit where the resistors are kept in a parallel. Okay, they are arranged in parallel. So now the current get divided into three. Okay, and how we will came to know about it, how we will come to know about it, that we will simply put a voltage in all the three at first, and in R1 like we have done, the same thing with the R2, and then with the R3 the voltage will remains the same. There will be no change in the voltage. Okay, we will remain come out as the same. But here what happened, the current is dividing into the three types. Okay, into the three resistors. Okay, so when we adjust the voltmeter to that of the first R, and we measure the current, this you can see this setup is for this particular resistance. So when you will calculate it, you will get a value of a voltage, you will get a value of a current also, right? Then the same thing we will going to do with the R2. Again we will get a voltage and then current. Then again we will going to set up like this V, and we will also add an emitter in it. So likewise we will going to do with the R2. Okay, so what happened, the current and the voltage can be found by each of the resistor. What is the result came out through the circuit? We find out that the voltage will remains the same, but the current every time it varies, it changes, it is not similar to each other. Now let us see that what kind of a relation that we can found when the current is not equal, when the current flowing through each of the resistor is different, as they are arranged in a parallel to each other. Now see here, we know that V is equals to IR. Okay, so here the voltage will remains the same, students. Okay, and the current differs. So to get the current differ, it means if the current which is flowing through one, it will be I1, the current flowing in the second one, it will be I2, and the current which is flowing in the third one is I3. So when you take the ammeter of whole circuit, that will be equals to I, and this I will be equals to individual current flowing through each of the resistor. Okay, so sum of the individual current which is flowing through each of the resistor is equals to the whole current flowing through the circuit. Okay, so I is equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Now we know that V is equals to IR, or I is equals to V upon R. Now I is equals to V upon R, so I1 is equals to V1, it's not V1, V upon R1, because the voltage will remains the same. I2 is equals to V upon R2, and I3 is equals to V upon R3. Okay, now putting this value here, it will become V upon R is equals to V upon R1 plus V upon R2 plus V upon R3. We can write it as a V1 by R is equals to V1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. This V will cancel each other, and the answer will be 1 by R is equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Okay, so this is how we can find the value of the resistor when it is attached to the circuit in a parallel. Okay. So these are the two ways by which we can arrange the resistor, students. So by which we can say that if suppose if a circuit is given where the resistors they are arranged in a series with each other. So how we will find the resistance, the value of the resistance? So it will be equals to R is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. This is for series. And then for parallel student, 1 by R is equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. This will be equals for the parallels. Okay, so this is how we can find the value of the series or a parallel resistor arranged in a circuit. Now let us move on, students, and we will see another topic, and that is heating effect of electric current. heating effect of electric current. Let us see the heating effect of electric current. You know that when the energy is what? The transformation of energy, that energy never get, it never becomes zero, or it always get, there is no loss or there is no creation of the energy. Energy only get transformed from one form to the other form of energy. Now basically, if we talk about the heating effect, we know that when the electricity is given, when the electrical energy is provided to that of the any of the metal object or the alloys, then it will becomes it will start producing another kind of energy which we call as the heat energy. Okay, so providing electrical energy will generate the heat energy, and there are a lot of examples are there, students, which we use in order to understand that. The first one is, that is the electrical bulb. You see that in the electrical bulb there is a filament. Okay, and this filament is basically made up of tungsten. So that is made up of tungsten. Now why we are using this tungsten in the filament of the electric bulb, student? Because of its high melting point, and this will be equals to 3380. Okay. So one more thing, that okay, so because of that, so what happened when the electric current, it flows through that of the bulb and enters into that of the filament, due to the continuous flow of the electric current, it will start producing the energy which we call as a heat energy. And not only heat, it becomes so hot that it also produces the light. So we can say that heating effect is not restricted to the means, it means the electric current, when it flows through the metal, it produces heat as well as light. Now the electric bulb, it is the, because the tungsten is there, students, so it will, tungsten is what, is a metal only. So in order to prevent any further oxidation that can occur with the tungsten with the oxygen, the electric bulb, there is a we have to make a such a the cover around it, so that it will not going to react with the oxygen, and that is why the bulb, which is made up of a glass, inside it unreactive gases like argon is used. Okay, so the argon is an unreactive, so it will not going to react with the tungsten, and that will help in increasing the life of the electric bulb. So this is the first application of the electric bulb, heating effect of electric current, that is electric bulb. So this is also a method by which we know that when the electric current passes through it, heat is generated. The second is, students, is fuse, electric fuse. What is in the electric fuse? Basically, when you look at electric fuse, why we use electric fuse? You know that while doing this domestic circuit, basically the fuse is used. So it is used in the domestic circuit, student, and where what happened, what is the role of this electric fuse? Basically, it helps in protecting of any kind of a fire that can occur due to the huge amount of flow of electricity. So what happened, this fuse is having the low melting point. These days, you students, MCB is used, and that work on a magnetic effect, where the if the huge amount of a current will flow, more magnetic effect will be there, and ultimately it can be tripped. Okay, so but here in an electric fuse, what happened, if a more amount of electric current will flows through the circuit, what happened, due to low melting point, it will melt it, and due to which the circuit breaks down. Okay, so this is how, so the current will not flow, and ultimately the appliances can be protected. So electric fuse is basically used in order to prevent any kind of a burning, any kind of a damage to the appliances. So this is about the electric fuse. There are different types of electric fuse are present, students, and this can be in the it can be rated as a 1 ampere or 2 ampere or 3 ampere or even 5 ampere also. In this electric fuse only, there is another type of a device is there, which we called as a electric iron. So electric iron also work on the principle of a heating effect of electric current. providing electricity to it, it will generate heat. And you know that what is the reason behind it? That electric iron, it almost it consumes of a 1 kilowatt power, and it is having this it is generally the fuse that is used here, it is of a 5 ampere. So here also student, in an electric iron, providing electric current will produces the heat. So this is all about that of the heating effect of the electric current. Then comes the electric power. What is there in the electric power, students? Power is what? Next one is the electric power. Generally, when we talk about the power, students, what is the power? You will say that the work done by an object in a particular amount of a time, at a particular rate, or rate of doing work is defined as a power. Here, if we talk about the electric power, it means the rate at which the electrical energy is consumed in an electric circuit. Okay? Rate at which electrical energy is consumed in an electric circuit. And the power P, it can be given as VI, right? Voltage into current. Now here, if we will see that V is equals to what, it can also be represented V is equals to IR. Okay. So V is equals to IR, students. So we can also find it as, in place of V, we can write here IR. So it will become one more thing, that power is equals to, it is given by, yes, V is equals to VI. Now see here, V is equals to IR, so we can again write it as power is equals to I square R. Okay, or we can also write it as, instead of that, we can also write it as V upon R. So P is equals to V square upon R. Okay, so these are the two ways by which we are able to find the value of the power. Now power is what? The SI unit of the power is watt. So here also we will going to use the watt only, and 1 watt is equals to what? That is 1 volt into 1 ampere. So out of these 3, if any 2 is known to us, we will be able to find the value of a power. Okay, so volt is there and current is there. So if the value of the voltage and the current is given and you have to find the power, with the help of this formula, we will be able to find it. Okay, now talking about that if electric power is there, students, so it can be measured at a huge amount. If more amount of a power will be there, so that can be represented as 1 kilowatt. And this 1 kilowatt hour, and this 1 kilowatt hour is equals to 1000 watt, 1000 watt into 3600 seconds, and this will be equals to 1 kilowatt hour is equals to 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joule. This is how we can find the value of the electrical energy. This is the commercial unit of energy, student. You see, when we talk about the commercial unit, basically electrical energy. Basically, when we talk about the commercial unit of electrical energy, students, you will find it that here, so you see, in your house, the electricity bill, it never came in a joule. It always came in the in that of the kilowatt hour. Okay, why is this so? Because it is a huge amount, so it cannot be measured in joule. So better, because the larger amount is there, so we will going to use this kilowatt hour instead of the joule there. So what is the relationship between that of the kilowatt hour and that of the joule? So we had found out that 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joule. Now 1 kilowatt hour is also called as 1 unit, with the help of which we can say because your electricity bill, electricity always came in the unit, and 1 unit represents the 1 kilowatt. So if it is a 10 unit, so 10 kilowatt hour of electrical energy has been consumed. Okay, so this is about the electrical power. One more thing I just want to add it here, students. While that in case of a heating effect of a electric current, we have seen that what are the applications of the heating effect of electric current. But if we look at how we can find out the heating effect of an appliance, so if we have to find the heating effect of the electric current, students, so we can find out that if suppose a conductor is there and the current I is flowing through that of the resistor, through a resistor, which is R, resistor of resistance. Okay, so if a current I is flowing through a resistor of resistance R, and let the potential difference is V. Okay, potential difference is V. Now at a time t, Q charge flows through that of the conductor. Q amount of charge flows through it. It flows through it. Then the work done in taking this Q charge across the potential difference of V, it will be equals to VQ. So what amount of a power that we will going to apply the input to the circuit, that can be represent. Power is equal to what? That is work done upon time, and the work which we are doing in order to making this charge moves across the potential difference, it will be equals to P is equals to VQ upon T, right? Or we can also write it P is equals to VQ upon T, and we know that Q upon T is what? That is the current. So P is equals to VI. So the value of the power that we get, the power input that we will going to supply to that of the circuit, it will be equals to VI. So if we talk about the heating one, okay, the energy supplied to the circuit at a time t, that will be equals to, it will be equals to P into T. How much energy will be supplied? Now we know that W, power is equals to work upon time. This work is also equals to energy, so power is equals to energy upon time. So how much energy is supplied for the movement of the charge across that of the potential? It will be equals to P into T. So what kind of energy is generated here, students? Since the electric energy passes through the conductor, so the energy produced is the heat energy only. So we will write here, instead of writing here energy only, we will write here heat energy, and heat energy is represented by H. So H will be equals to power into T. Now power is what? That is VI. So VI into T. Now this VI, we know that according to Ohm's law, we can also write this. So this is the one value, one equation that we get to find the value of the heat of an object. If we want to find the heat energy which passes through, or how much amount of a heat energy is required when the current I passes through potential passes through a potential difference of a V at time t, it can be represented by Vi into t, or we can simply write it VIT. Now we know that according to Ohm's law, V is equals to IR. Okay. V is equals to IR. So putting the value here, heat is equals to, in place of the V, we can write here IR into IT, or I square RT. This is also another method, another equation by which we can find the heating effect. When the voltage is not given and current is given and resistance is given, so with the help of this we can find the value of the heat energy. Now again, when we see, we can also write it I is equals to V upon R. Now this time we will going to put the value of a I here. It will be equals to V into V upon R into T, and that will be equals to H is equals to V square T upon R. Okay, so this is also an example, this is also a method by which we can find out the value of the heat energy if the voltage is not, if the current is not given and voltage is given. Okay, so this is the method by which we can find the heat energy of the electric current. So we have understood the heating effect. Why is this produced? Because when a large amount of electrical energy supplies to it, it will get radiate in the form of a heat energy, and we can calculate the heat energy by I is equals to V into T, V into I, H is equals to V into I into T, H is equals to I square RT, or H is equals to V square upon RT. Okay.